I'm often asked what the Line Interactive UPS really brings to the table and who it actually makes sense for. Is this the unit that keeps a home office's desktop, router, and monitor alive when the neighborhood pulls a blackout? Or is it overkill for someone who just needs a night light level, keep alive, for a gaming rig? And most importantly, does the price line up with the everyday value you'll get, or are you just paying for a brand name? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break down the Eaton Tripp Lite SmartPro 1440VA 1440W and see who should click Add to Cart and who should keep scrolling. First off, the biggest source of hesitation for most buyers is the fear of buying a UPS that either won't handle their load or ends up sitting idle, draining the wall outlet for no reason. I spent a few evenings looking at typical home office setups: mid-tower PC, a 65-watt monitor, a Wi-Fi router, and a small external hard drive. Adding up the wattage lands you in the 300400W range, well below the 1440W rating, but you also have to consider the surge and inverter capacity when a sudden spike hits. The SmartPro's automatic voltage regulation, AVR, is designed to smooth those spikes without ever switching to battery mode, which means the battery lasts longer for the real outages you care about. If you're a small business owner with a server rack that draws close to a kilowatt, the 1440W capacity could be a comfortable cushion, but you'll need to double-check the total load before you plug everything in. The unit's multiple outlet configuration is a plus. It mixes IECC 13 sockets for computer equipment with standard NEMA 515 receptacles for things like a Wi-Fi router or a small UPS-compatible television. That mix saves you from buying a separate power strip, and the load management feature lets you lock out certain outlets when you're running on battery, preserving runtime for the most critical devices. Real-world usability comes down to three things: how the UPS talks to you, how it fits in the space you have, and how easy it is to actually get the runtime you need. The SmartPro uses a relatively straightforward LCD panel that tells you battery percent, input voltage, and load percentage. It's not a full-blown graphical interface, but the information is clear enough that you can tell at a glance whether you're pulling 80% of capacity or just 20%. For a home office, you'll rarely see the load exceed 30%, which means the unit will stay on mains power most of the time, only kicking in during an actual outage. That's exactly where the AVR shines. It corrects low or high voltage without draining the battery, extending the life of your UPS, and reducing the need for frequent battery replacements. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. The SmartPro is a Line Interactive model, which means it relies on a transformer to boost or buck voltage before the inverter steps in. That design is generally more efficient than a double conversion, online, UPS. But it also means you don't get the absolute clean sine wave that some high-end audio or laboratory equipment requires. If you're running a desktop that's sensitive to voltage irregularities, say a workstation, for video editing with a high-end GPU, most users will be fine, but very sensitive gear could still see minor hiccups during severe sags. In practice, I've seen forum posts where creators mention that a Line Interactive UPS handled a 30-second brownout without any artifact, but a double conversion unit would have been completely silent. So for most people, the SmartPro's level of protection is more than adequate, but it isn't the ultimate choice for mission-critical, noise-averse hardware. The runtime is another practical consideration. The unit comes with a built-in battery that can provide roughly 5–10 minutes of backup at a 450W load, according to the manufacturer's charts. That's enough time to save your work and gracefully shut down a PC. But if you're looking for a UPS that will keep a server online for hours, you'll need to invest in external battery packs. The SmartPro does support expandable runtime options. You can hook up extra battery modules, but those aren't cheap and add bulk. For a typical user who just wants to avoid data loss and keep a router alive for a short period, the stock battery is perfectly matched. Who should buy this thing? If you run a modest home office, a small workshop, or a dedicated gaming space where the main concern is keeping the PC and network gear alive during a brief outage, the SmartPro hits the sweet spot. Its blend of 1440VA capacity, handy AVR, and clear LCD monitoring makes it a solid sit-and-forget device. The price point, while not the lowest on the market, reflects the brand's reputation for reliability and the added convenience of multiple outlet types. Buyers who are comfortable doing a quick load audit and want a UPS that won't require daily interaction will find great value. Who should skip it? If you're a data center type that runs multiple servers at near full load, or if you need ultra-clean power for high-end audio equipment, you're better.